Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the City Council of Easthampton Property Committee meeting. Today is October 18th, 2021. It is 6:01 p.m. Due to the extended order from Governor Baker during the COVID-19 pandemic, we are continuing to conduct meetings on Zoom and not in person. I see that our members are both present, Councilors Kwasinski and Councilor Flood. And it looks like we also have another member of the council/public here in attendance. I don't see anyone else. The agenda tonight, I think we have minutes from the prior meeting. What date was that, Councilor Flood?
I would move to approve minutes from the meeting from August 23rd, 2020.
Okay.
Feels so far away. Don't know if
we have a second. So I'm sorry, we have a motion, a second motion from Councilor Flood and a second from Councilor Kwasinski. Any further discussion? Okay, Councilor Kwasinski and Councilor Flood.
I am an aye.
And I'm also an aye, so meeting's approved 3-0. At this time, if there are any members of the public here at the meeting that would like to speak on any items other than what are on the agenda, please raise your hand now, either on screen or preferably using the raise hand function available on Zoom. Okay, seeing none. Our one and only agenda item is the easement request for utility conduits to service a cellular and communication tower on city-owned property at 32 Payson Avenue. Would it help the members of the committee if I pull that up on screen share? JP, I can't really.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Chair, JP, I don't hear you. I see you're not muted, but I don't hear your audio, just so you know. No problem. And Councilor Zared, if you want to screen share, I don't know that it's very, it's just sort of a complicated document. Maybe just the map.
Mm-hmm. Can you see that?
If I move my map, then yes, I can.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Back on track.
Okay, so the request is for an easement to bring utilities to a communications tower. Here's the map. So this appears to be, I'm trying to get my directions. So this is basically west of the public safety complex parking lot. And then basically on that strip of grass there, you can see on the map here, basically between the parking lot, actually overlying parts of the parking lot, and then between that, the bike path and some of the structures there, including the water fountain and some trees and such. Just
can you show Payson? Oh, there's Payson Avenue.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Does that help?
Where's any buildings that are on that?
So the public safety building would be, can you see the pointer? I'm not sure if that shows up on screen share.
Yes, I see your pointer.
Yeah, I see the pointer, but I don't see any buildings.
Yeah, the public safety building is right here.
Okay.
The Williston parking lot would be like over here. And then obviously across the street, you have the continuation of the bike path, which is here. Right. And then, you know, the old railroad station / Tandem Bagel. It is conspicuous that the building's not here, but I think but I don't think, to answer your question, but here, let me show you one thing. There's a shed here. That's the only structure that would be anywhere near or in some way abutting this easement strip.
I think I got a clear idea of where it is based on the bike path. Right?
Yeah, so when you cross, yeah, I mean, 50 Payson's right here. There's that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the
okay,
Williston
then
part,
I
this
see
way,
the
the
parking
Williston
lot,
parking lot.
Then you got Williston. Thank you so much. That helps.
Yeah. I don't see anyone here really representing either side of this discussion, either the city attorney or Eversource. I mean, there doesn't seem anything too complicated about this, but Councilor Kwasinski usually asks very good questions about these things, and I was wondering if you had any particular input or thoughts.
I'm looking at the map and trying to understand from where to where is the easement that they're talking about. It's not altogether clear.
So I think the easement's this gray area, which looks like it starts essentially at the curb or the sidewalk. Here's sidewalk right here where it says Conch Walk.
Yep.
And
that helps.
I was trying to decipher this all day.
That helps. Yes. Okay.
So over here is the crosswalk on Payson. This is the continuation of the sidewalk. I believe there would be another sidewalk over here.
Yep.
So this is kind of as you cross onto that strip of grass that kind of sits between the 30, I think it's 32 Payson, the public safety building, and their parking lot, which is here. And then it looks like there's this like 15 some odd foot wide strip here where the easement's being requested essentially. I'll shrink that down a little bit again.
Has this been seen by the city engineer?
You know, that's a really good question.
Could you zoom in on that second half too? I just want to see, I'm having a hard time zooming in on my document, but so it's buried telecom wire, right? That's what that says. If you zoom back in towards the middle third there.
Yeah, it's buried, it's telecom, yeah, and electric.
So this is all just going underground in the grass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with Councilor Kwasinski as long as like the city engineer doesn't see any, to me, it seems pretty straightforward. I'm no expert.
Yeah, I mean, here it gets a little close, obviously, to probably some curbing, but you know, I'm imagining that, you know, it's going to be a trench that's going to just abut that, but I can't imagine, you know, structurally or in terms of infrastructure that's going to be an issue. But I can certainly reach out to them for any questions.
And so I see proposed riser pole. So there would be a new pole as part of it.
Yes. So
I'm just going to go back to this document again because it was kind of lengthy. It's a little different than what we've seen before.
Yeah, let me look further up in the language here that might describe it a little bit better. Yeah, it would be helpful to understand exactly what that riser pole is, but I don't.
I think that's a good point. Yeah.
And just so you know, too, I think we have till that first meeting of November to get if we have general questions. I mean, I can get someone back in here from Verizon, or even just pass questions along too, if that would help the committee, and so we don't, in terms of not having to avoid another meeting unless you would want one.
I mean, you know, the language is we agreed to not plant anything on top of this land once the easement is granted. In the event of the damage to or destruction of any of said facilities of the grantee by the grantor or agents or employees thereof, all costs of repair or replacement shall be borne by the grantor. What, you know, what are the odds of damage if it's underground?
I mean, unless there was some construction or something going on around the bike path or the
Right.
parking lot.
I guess that would be a little concern of mine. If there's any future work happening on the bike path and something happens, then we're then liable for repair.
Well, I mean, it's like a dig safe situation, right? I mean,
Right.
if we're doing construction and we happen to dig up their communication and electric cables, I don't know if it's unreasonable to say that we would be responsible for that.
Right. No, that makes sense. I guess I would go back to Counselor Kwasinski's question about just whether or not like city engineers looked at this and has any concerns about the proximity of the bike path or the parking lot.
The only other person I think should be contacted for kind of like a verbal sign off, even an oral sign off, is to say the chief of the fire department.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking when I was looking at this earlier that either of the two chiefs, if they had any concern about anything going there, I can't imagine, but I could reach out to them if you'd like.
I can't either, but I think it would be helpful just to have that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's thoughtful, and I have similar thoughts, so I could reach out to them, especially when they see someone digging there.
Oh, geez.
So what are some, I guess the question is, so we want the city engineer, we want input from them, we want input from the chiefs. And are there other questions or clarification that we need in order to move forward?
Yeah, I don't think this actually touches the bike path property. So I don't think we have to go to the Manhan Rail Trail for any issues. The riser pole, it looks like it's on city, like would be considered the fire station property.
Mhm.
So I'm not too concerned about that. I don't have any other questions.
Neither do I. I mean, that covers the basis for me as well.
Would both the members be comfortable at least recommending this pending input from the chiefs and the city engineer?
Well, if the chair would entertain a motion, I would so move.
I would absolutely entertain a motion. So we have a motion to approve the proposed easement.
Motion to recommend approval.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion from Counselor Kwasinski and a second from Counselor Flood. Any further discussion? I'll make those inquiries, however. So I'll take a vote. Counselor Kwasinski, how do you vote?
Aye.
Counselor Flood?
I am an aye.
And I am also an aye. So 3-0 to recommend to the full council and obtain information or input from the city officials and stakeholders mentioned. Okay. Well, it's 6:14. Any further comments or questions?
I'm good.
Okay, wonderful.
I would move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion from Counselor Fly, a second from Counselor Kwasinski to adjourn. All in favor, Counselor Kwasinski?
Aye.
Counselor Flood?
I'm an aye.
And I'm also an aye. Vote is 3-0 to adjourn. Thank you so much for making the time. I will reach out to people with those questions. And I'll see you all on Wednesday. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Mr.
Go
Chair.
Sox.
Go Sox. Absolutely.
Have a great night.
How could we not notice? Oh my gosh.
Have a great evening, all.
What
Have a
time
good
is
night,
the
everyone.
game?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock this evening. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.